Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Candace Burns.
And I'm Joe Dominguez. Let's get started with a look at your forecast with Chief Meteorologist Zach Daniel. Hi, Zach. Look forward to it. Thank you, Zach. We have new information on the deadly storms that tore through central Virginia yesterday. The National Weather Service confirmed an EF2 tornado touched down in Chesterfield, where a building collapsed and killed a man inside. Wayne Koval with our sister station talked to the victim's nephew today. Virginia's Attorney General is warning you about fake charities that are trying to take advantage of your generosity. Mark Herring is warning that scammers will often use natural disasters such as hurricanes to set up fake charities and pocket the money. Before you make a donation, Virginia's AG's office says be wary of charities that spring up overnight. And if you suspect something fishy, give them a call.
We're here to help.
Herring says only give to charities and fundraisers you can confirm are reliable and legitimate. Be skeptical if charities are reaching out to you first, asking for cash donations. Montgomery County Police say a car found with 2 dead people inside was probably a double suicide. Major crimes detectives were asked to look into the deaths because the car was parked near 2 schools off University Boulevard in Silver Spring. Witnesses noticed something wrong around 7:15 this morning on St. Lawrence Drive. Police described the couple as an elderly male and female. A man with a history of criminal issues faces new charges following a shooting in Anne Arundel County. That shooting happened last night in Severn. Police tell us that the victim was taken to the hospital but is expected to survive. 39-year-old Keith Brown of Windsor Mill faces a slew of charges, including attempted first-degree murder and possessing a firearm, despite having a felony conviction on his record. A Herndon man has been arrested after police say he exposed himself to young girls 2 separate times. 28-year-old Alan Williams was charged Friday with taking indecent liberties with a child. Police say it was a family member who made the connection after a social media post and then called Fairfax County Police. Those incidents happened on Builders Road September 8th and on Hiddenbrook Road September 6th. Investigators say if there are more victims that they don't know about, they'd like to hear about it. A member of the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra has filed a sexual harassment complaint against the concert master Jonathan Carney. The principal oboist for the orchestra, Catherine Needleman, says Carney retaliated against her after she turned down his advances back in 2005. She says that created a hostile work environment. According to the Baltimore Sun, Needleman is not looking for money. Instead, she wants to see the orchestra fire Carney. His attorney denies the accusation. Metro is moving forward with plans to expand the Silver Line. Today, Metro leaders opened up the bid process for construction of Phase 2 of the development. The work will be done after a competitive contracting process, which leaders hope will lead to lower costs. This project will extend the Silver Line to the new Dulles rail yard. Metro anticipates opening the extension in 2020. Stay with us. You're watching the DCW 50 News at 10. President Donald Trump says transparency in the Russian investigation is his top priority. The move would open up all FBI reports of interviews conducted for Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act investigations. President Trump has repeatedly called the investigation a witch hunt. A Manassas man is facing charges after police say he rubbed his butt on produce in a local grocery store. Police say 27-year-old Michael Dwayne Johnson was at a Giant store on Dumfries Road. Employees reported seeing him picking up produce, pulling down his pants, rubbing it on his butt, and then putting the produce back on the shelves. Officials say the store had to destroy several pallets of produce afterwards. Johnson has been charged with indecent exposure and destruction of property. Thank you, Zach. Drinking to excess can come with a variety of consequences, including legal, financial, and physical.
That's right, but a new survey revealed middle-aged drinkers. Well, this Saturday marks the first day of fall. Can you believe it?
I can't, but some retailers are already prepping for the holiday season. Several retailers have begun hiring for seasonal jobs. Macy's said it will hire 80,000 temporary workers, while Gap announced yesterday it will bring on 65,000 temps. Target said last week it will need to hire 120,000 holiday employees. Some experts say it might be hard to fill so many jobs. So as incentives, Target says it will offer temp workers $12 an hour, store discounts, and a chance to enter a gift card lottery. Superhero film fans were crazy for Warner Brothers' Wonder Woman, and now Marvel is getting ready to have its first female-led superhero.
The studio released its teaser.
The hit's just keep on coming for the Redskins. Lane is coming up next to tell you which player won't be returning this season.
7th player from the 53-man roster on injured reserve. That doesn't even include the 2 guys they put on during training camp who probably weren't going to make the team anyway. After having 22, 23 players on IR last year, this is not a trend you want to see before your 3rd game of the season. Nats are up 4-2 in Miami right now in the 8th, and they also made an announcement today that their AAA team moving from Syracuse to Fresno.
Coke says it's following debate over the ingredient cannabidiol, or CBD. That's a non-psychoactive ingredient derived from marijuana. The company says it's something that could gain ground in wellness beverages globally. And according to Bloomberg, Coke is in talks with a Canadian cannabis company on potential products. Still, using CBD in Coke products is just under discussion.
That's interesting.
Change all around.
Interesting.
Seinfeld is next. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Candace Burns.
And I'm Joe Dominguez. Rob Desir has the night off. Dangerous skies tonight in Northern Virginia and farther south. Deadly storms tore through central Virginia this afternoon. At least 1 person was killed when a tornado brought down a building. Our sister station in Richmond is following the story tonight. Jake Burns is live from Chesterfield County.
Yeah, good evening, Joe.
The fight to keep the status quo in Washington, D.C. restaurants leads to a long day for lawmakers and everyone else. A hearing on Initiative 77 weighed the pros and cons of paying tipped workers a full minimum wage. DCW 50's Cameron Thompson is live from the Wilson building tonight to explain. And a crime alert out of Northeast D.C. tonight. Police are asking for your help in identifying a man they say sexually assaulted a woman. It happened last night in the 800 block of Monroe Street near the Brooklyn Metro Station. Police say the suspect approached a woman and tried to talk to her. He then reportedly initiated unwanted sexual contact, but she was able to get away. If you have any information on that incident, you're asked to contact police. Rain on your wedding day is said to be a sign of good luck. And this North Carolina couple took their canceled wedding in stride after they were forced to evacuate. Coming up, we'll tell you the story behind this fun photo shoot. People living in 3 Massachusetts towns have returned home following deadly gas explosions and fires last week. Explosions in more than 60 gas fires rocked the towns of Lawrence, Andover, and North Andover on Thursday, and at least 1 person was killed, while several more suffered injuries. Thousands were forced to leave their homes. Electricity is back on at many of those homes, but Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker says the area needs a lot of help.
For many,
the National Transportation Safety Board says the incident was caused by too much pressure in the gas lines. Apple is rolling out a new operating system today, and it's called iOS 12. It's coming out before the launch of Apple's new iPhone XS. But it's compatible with mobile generations as old as the 5S. New features include a screen time counter, personalized emojis, an app for physical measurements, and an updated Siri.
And Hurricane Florence forced a South Carolina couple to postpone their wedding.
But they decided to make the best of the situation. Carter Letts and Esther Walsh were supposed to get married in Charleston on September 15th. But Florence forced them to evacuate to Charlotte. So on Saturday, when they were supposed to get married, they had this fun photo shoot out in the rain caused by Florence. The couple also held a big party with their friends in the rain. Their actual wedding will now happen in November. And get this, the couple first met in New York City and moved south because they thought the weather would be better in the Carolinas.
Coach Canada going with the whole Jay Gruden theme of putting blame on himself after that frustrating loss
That's
at
what
home.
leaders do.
Yeah, the Terps look so good coming out of the gates, too. 4 years ago, when Ramar White stepped onto a wrestling mat for the first time, he wasn't serious about winning. But tonight's DCW 50 MVP is now very serious about many things, including his chances at winning a Maryland state title.
I found out firsthand how easily Ramar White can take someone down, even someone who outweighs him by 60 pounds. Pretty good for someone who only started wrestling on a dare.
When I first joined, it was funny because at first I didn't even want to wrestle, but my one friend made a joke saying he'll beat me, and I'm very competitive, so I came out and he was on the team, and that's how I started wrestling.
It's turning hard.
That wrestling career ends this spring, as it will for many seniors on the Flowers High School wrestling team. They are a relaxed group, but also hyper-focused with regionals and a shot at states this weekend.
We try not to stress about it too much, but we're on edge for it.
White wants another chance to qualify for the most important meet of the season, an opportunity to advance to the state championships slipped out of his hands last year.
I kind of replay that match over in my head a lot because I don't want it to ever happen again because it really devastated me because I really wanted to go to states that year.
White wasn't always a good student, but when bad grades got in the way of wrestling, he turned things around in the classroom.
So you have to make sure that you have your grades straight, because if you don't have your grades straight, you won't be able to wrestle no matter what. You could be undefeated, and they wouldn't let you wrestle if you don't have grades.
White decided a long time ago not to let just one fall keep him down.
I would like people to know that I like to persevere. Even when I'm counted out, I'm going to try to strive through it.